lot of my friends who are also artists and musicians and marketing managers, I'm seeing a lot of them approach music projects in kind of like a way that really lacks any sort of solid long-term planning, even like mid to near-term planning. I see a lot of them just releasing a single, and then once the single's out, then they start to think about like, oh, what type of content can we kind of come up with every day? Or they're posting haphazardly, kind of like once or twice after the single is out. And all that time that they're putting into like creating content after the single is out is time that's being taken away from working on the next thing or preparing for the next thing. And like, I worked in tech for 13 years at companies like Facebook and MakerBot and Percolate, and all of the best teams that I was on always had their entire quarter planned out in advance. So they knew 3 months in advance what was going to happen within that time frame. And of course, like as things happen, they would audible and they would pivot, they would make changes based upon information or data or performance stuff that they were seeing. But the best teams that I saw were like, they had a plan for 3 months minimum ahead of time, and they executed on it, and they absolutely fucking crushed it. So I've been thinking about that experience and how that could apply to like being an artist. And there's also a lot of other brands that do this. Like one of my favorite clothing brands, Represent, two brothers from Manchester. They have all of their clothing lines planned out, like photography and video done, ad campaigns done and ready to go, like 12 to 18 months ahead of time. So that frees up an additional 12 to 18 months of their time to then go work on the next thing and really focus on it and really focus on what they want to create, instead of like jumping around back and forth between like, oh, I got to promote this thing that's already out and make all the content and do all the stuff, but also work on all these other things. So, and kind of like thinking about this, like I feel like artists can really benefit from doing the thing that a lot of us are just not great at, which is like planning and organizing stuff. I think artists are traditionally not very good at that, but I think focusing on stuff like that, or finding one of your friends who is and hiring them to, or convincing them to help you out, to think like, how am I going to approach the next 3 months as an artist? What are my goals? What am I going to hit? Not just from a creation, writing, and recording standpoint, but also from like a promotion standpoint, and batching all of that stuff together ahead of time and scheduling all of it so that you're just able to move on to the next thing and focus on the next thing.